So you want to make a base. There's a couple key features that you want to do in order to make a base. I'll just go through a couple steps. And the first one should obviously be what's the space going to be used for, and 99% of the time it's going to be a Here Be Monsters base. First of all, you have to think of a design. This one is kind of based off the Death Clover. You have death boxes, you have corner based designs, and those are the three main ones. After that, unless you have like a really crazy idea, you can start to move walls and make it your own. The only two things you have to worry about when you do make it your own is do the monsters make it through the walls, and then do your heroes jump out of the base. Now this one, they jump pretty close to out of the base. I mean, they're still in the pathing area. And then there's a couple tips and hints and tricks as well. First of all, you have to kind of know your buildings, your gold vaults, your mana vaults, your town hall, your mana mills, gold mills, and I'm not quite sure if army camps do or not, but all these buildings right here, they hold enemy aggro, which is really nice, because if you say a Grizzly Reaper comes, this bombs a Grizzly Reaper. Grizzly Reaper comes and he starts hitting on this mana vault, and your Grizzly comes over and tries to hit him, he's still going to stay locked on that mana vault, instead of switching his target to Grizzly and starting hitting him. And that can be advantageous or a little bit at a disadvantage, just depending on what you want and who's actually doing the tanking. A couple good buildings that people put inside that don't hold aggro are the Hero Altar and the Guild Hall, only because 63,000 HP, considering to a mana vault which has 45,000. So if that lasts one more second, it's actually could be a little bit better as far as base design goes. Right here you have pathing. Instead of making it a straight shot in, they have to basically double the amount of time they're going to walk. And then I'm going to show you with this right here why we do rounded edges. Now if we try and make just a regular wall here, I will show you. Run out of room here. Be like, oh, okay, you didn't really save any walls. Look at that, it's too thick. It looks good. Monsters, or I never tested it, but they will most likely break through a wall that's too thick. Just because you have to count the number of pathing. Yeah, 1, 2. Too much junk on my base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have 13 walls of pathing before they can even start to turn. And most monsters, it's not really a down to a science yet, but from what I found out, monsters don't like to path that much for a wall that's only too thick. I gotta figure out how many you got here. 2, 4, 5. Where's the boss at? 2, 4, 6. So we gotta go one more in. What rounding these corners does is when a enemy spawns up top here, and they're going to destroy all these, and then they're going to aggro on the gold vault, their mindset is going to be what does my pathing start from right here? You know, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then they kind of go to themselves, well, is it worth to break a wall for 10 walls instead of, was it 13? So that saves you a whole bunch of walls that you can use for extra pathing like this right here. I'm going to go to my corner box design. There's a corner box for a town hall. Let's see, 30 walls, 17, town hall 17. And as long as you have the basic premise down, let me show you this one here quick. The basic premise of heroes not jumping out and monsters not breaking in, you can pretty much modify any base for the most part. Now this one, you see the druid is outside the box here. You also have to take into consideration your attack range of your hero bases. And for the most part, I do base designs around max level bases just because that's what I have. But I had a couple guildmates ask for a Town Hall 17, which why we have the walls over here. And their hero bases are only at 17 attack range. So you minus, or you just add a wall right here. You know, and you can start, and then you look, that's what a 17 will look like with one extra wall, because mine's at 18 and it's out one wall, but a 17 will actually be inside the wall. So it's something you also have to think about is what's your range of your bases, what you want to put inside the base. It's almost always going to be magic towers inside the base, or arrow towers if you want to go garrisonless. Arrow towers have much more HP than magic towers, so if you do decide to go garrisonless, I'd highly recommend farming the gold and switching to arrow towers. Alright, so after you get everybody so they don't jump out, and down here you see like, oh, Vlad's way too close, or Santa's, he's gonna jump. Right here is the edge of the map, and so I'm gonna use another bomb as an example. So the heroes come down right here, and they come down in the red, and they walk all the way, right? Since it's the edge of the map, Santa doesn't have a need to, and we can actually use the edge of the map to our advantage, because the monsters will only walk on the edge and they're not going to walk any further out. Some other bases, they actually do have like little wings out here, and what those are for is to get we used to see that on Jay a lot, and they'd take the pathing of the walking heroes and they'd spread it out, so then Spirit Mage would come in first. And that's kind of what you really want to do. You want to separate the flyers from the walkers and try and eliminate all the flyers first, and then deal with the main wave. And that's why we have 3 ranged up top here, as well as the boss. Now we have to take him into consideration. And then depending on your base design, you know, where do I have room for traps? You know, and for the most part, I wanted this base to be a lazy base with no need for traps, depending on what wave you want to farm. And right now, I'm just doing P-no bombs just because I'm a lazy dude, man. You can put them down here too, you know. But for the most part, I designed this base around no hero bombs for the most part. I really want to get a tight cluster here, and I wanted to really squeeze the design of a corner base in here. And you may ask yourself, well, why don't you put that one there? You can squeeze a little bit more out of it. You also have to take into consideration who we have as monsters coming in. We have druids, we have shamans, we have shotgun dwarfs. They have a range of 3, and they could possibly target that tower. Or if you have any flyers, they have to walk, or they have to fly one more space, like copters or something like that. So everything goes in consideration. Town hall, where you put your town hall, that's going to be Thunder God magnet, Thunder God proc magnet. So we have this one right here, kind of protecting our base just in case a Thunder God up top walks around. 4 corners, they work if you have a base that's situated in the middle. Alright, starting to ramble here. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Testing. I'll go into the testing phase here. Every time you move a wall, with this one it was really finicky because I tried to make it the bare minimum as far as the number of walls, and if I move this wall out 99% of the time they're gonna break through here and right there. So I had to figure out, okay, where do I not need walls, and then where do I need the walls. So for the most part, this back part right here is pretty much all extra walls. You really put all your extra walls off to one side and then start your wave. And I always try and farm a wave like 1 or 2 waves lower. Like I used to farm N when I was making this design, just because if the monsters break through the walls, you're still going to get the shards and everything. You know, you lose out on 5 or 10 or whatever it's going to be, but you still win. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of what I figured is the golden rule. Every 4 walls, you need to add a row. It's not always correct all the time, but it's pretty close most of the time. That's a good way to start. So we got 4 here, 3, 4, and then they add another wall. Got that one there. Just so when you look at it, how many walls do the monsters have to break in order to get through? You got 1, you got 2, and they're going to break through. They're going to break through those 2 walls, or are they going to walk 15 spaces? They're probably going to break those 2 walls. So we just put 1 there. And it kind of helps out a little bit more. But for the most part, I think I'm done talking. Just a whole bunch of tips and tricks for the most part. If it doesn't work, move a wall to where they did break through. And then it could also be your pathing down here. I had it like this before. I had 1 extra wall down here, right? Well, they started to break through right here. So we move this wall right there. And not only did we strengthen right here up, but we also changed the pathing to 1 wall less. So it actually helped it double wise. But just a basic beginner starter for how to make a base. Hope you guys like it.